welcome to another episode of Pro Clubs Weekly. I'm your host, Eightball, and tonight I'm joined on co-coms by Domino. Domino, how are you, sir?
Yes, all good, my friend. Looking forward to this game in front of us today.
Yeah, so we've gone down into lower tier VFL for this one. This is League 1. It goes down to League 2, so not quite bottom division. But two special reasons for picking this one, Domino. The first, doing the tiny bit of research I do before games, is that both of these teams are actually unbeaten.
Ooh, here we go.
We've got first v second, and secondly, and arguably more importantly, something I know you'll like, is that there was a little bit of Twitter beef between these two teams before the game.
Man loves a little bit of Twitter beef.
Yeah, how can you not? So, it's all in good spirits. It was all a good bit of fun, and it just spices this game up even more. So, it was a no-brainer for us. We asked, and we got it from the Newport boys, so thank you very much for that. And I think this one is going to be a top game between two top and unbeaten teams.
Yeah.
So we've got Newport in yellow and black, and we've got Leicester in their away strip of white. And it's Newport building early on in this centre midfield, cut out by Massey. We've got smaller names for some reason. We're a bit further zoomed out where we usually are, aren't we? It is hard to read. I'll do my best. Picking's got it on this right-hand side for Newport. They've gone long, and it's cut out by the centre-back. For Leicester, it started at quite a frantic pace, which is kind of what we're used to. Striker's touch not letting him down. Stevens out onto this left-hand side, zipping the ball around nicely so far. Cut out again by Pickings, and played back out to this right-hand side. They seem to be favouring this right-hand side early on. Both players running after that ball after it had gone off the pitch, not knowing whose it was, but it's gone Leicester's way. Recycled by Newport really nicely, actually, and they just settle on the ball. Going all the way home to goalkeeper Drew. They've got it on this left-hand side. Perhaps the ball wasn't on, but they've actually made... Tiller's made a good stretch for that, and just out of nowhere, Newport looked like they may have been in.
I thought it was
one of those
there.
two headers. Yeah, it was close. One of those two headers was offside. Not sure which one it was. But early signs is that Newport are looking dangerous, and a tackle shot. A tot, is that what it's called? A shackle.
Yeah, I like how you coined the term.
It looked dangerous for a split second there. So far, it's the closest we've come to a goal. 13 minutes in, 0-0. It's probably going to be a bit of a cagey affair, not only because neither of these teams are going to throw away an unbeaten record, but again because of that Twitter beef. And another, it's a shackle. It's another shackle, baby.
I mean, that rebound there, I was just about to talk about that rebound there. Like, do you reckon the keeper knew that was happening? Because you're not giving the shout to the keeper that you're leaving it, because you wouldn't know you're leaving it yourself.
Well, I've never even seen that animation before. That was cool. I'm not sure how I would feel if I was the goalkeeper with my centre back leaving it like that, but it worked out quite well for them. So they've obviously got that telepathic understanding, centre back and goalkeeper. It's launched out by Drew onto this left-hand side. Recycled quite well. Pickens has got it in centre midfield to the striker Joshi. Playing it nicely in these neat little triangles, and Tiller's got it on this left-hand side. Good bit of skill. Stand-up cross. That's begging to be put away, and it's just gone over the bar. No touch from the goalkeeper. No touch from the keeper. It is a goal kick, so it was a miss from 6 yards. Big opportunity, Domino.
8-ball. As a striker, I know that one was floated. He had a lot of time under the ball there that you know he's winning. Do you prefer them type of headers? Or do you prefer it fizzed in where it's a reactional header, because he had a lot of time to think about that, of where he was going to put it?
No. I like those early balls in, but it really does depend on which team you're playing in, because if you've got someone who likes to whip early balls in, and you've got a striker who's expecting kind of the I think the traditional style is on competitive pro clubs to work the ball into the box rather than get those early balls in. I just think they're so much easier to defend when you slow the pace down. But that's just me. I think from a striker, I like getting in between the centre halves and getting those early balls in, because it gets rid of the defender being able to get into a position to defend it.
Yeah.
I think the problem was there. It was 2 players contesting, and as soon as FIFA locks on a defender, it almost puts off the striker a bit. So you could time it to perfection. It'd still go over the bar, and that's actually what looked like happened there.
And yeah, to be fair, we didn't even talk about the excellent play from the winger either, because great trickery, great skill, got to the byline and delivered a beautiful cross.
Absolutely, yeah, and for all this talk about whipping in early balls, the winger did absolutely nothing wrong there. He's put that on a plate. Unlucky from Newport, and they look to break, and that's a really, really good tackle, and all of a sudden it's 2v1. They're driving into the box, gets that shot away, it's the near post. Drew makes the save. And Newport come out now. It's their turn to attack with Joshi. Holds it up well, and they've lost it again. It's a good little midfield battle here.
Yeah, I know when you said to earlier that it was a lower tier, they are contesting this like a high tier game. Again, they're not slowing anything down. Very, very quick on the ball.
And he's popped it away. He's got it away, and that is, it's not exactly against the run of play. It's just I didn't think he could get it in from there. And it's the cameraman, Joshi Boyo, puts him 1-0 up. It almost looked like an impossible angle. Do you not agree, or was it just my eyes?
No, it was coming to him, but I thought they had the ground covered to defend that near post.
Yeah.
Again, striker finish, hit the ball into the ground, bounced up, went over the sliding defenders, and we're 1-0 up.
Yeah, you've got to pull that trigger. I think a lot of people have almost kind of conceded that wasn't going to be an angle to get the shot away, because I think the Leicester player was kind of almost lying down in front of the ball, but that's a striker's instinct, that is. He's popped the ball over him, and just like that, they're 1-0 up, and they're trying to make it 2-0 up here. Here comes the goal scorer, through on goal. He's gone near post. Did the goalkeeper save it? And it was. It's a corner, which means it was a great save, and he's given him the old pro club's eyes rather than going to that far post, which traditionally you would go to. He's gone to the near post.
Yeah.
And he's forced a great save out of the goalkeeper.
Well, keeper got to hold his nerve there, because it's traditional that you got a great save again. Yeah, the keeper kept his nerve twice there then. Kept in the position, didn't falter. 2 really good saves.
Yeah. And just going back to that goal as well, I thought he did enough when he kind of pushed the ball out of the way of the danger zone, because sometimes you do make the save on here and it doesn't go very far, but that one actually went, like a good 8-10 yards away, but he held on to that one from the corner. And at the moment, he's keeping this Leicester team in it. As dangerous as they look coming forward, Newport have definitely had the better chances as they repel this one with a good tackle on that right hand side, looking to build something. But I think Newport are starting to get a hold of this centre midfield, bossing it a little bit more than in the first 10-20 minutes. And one thing I have noticed is there's a lot of kind of flick-ons and headers over the top to these 2 front players. And to be honest, they're getting a lot of offsides, but all it takes is one kind of chance to beat the offside trap, as it were, and they're going to be in again. And we've seen it a few times already, Domino.
Yeah, Leicester are playing a high line. Just looked at that last phase of play before the half-time, and Leicester's line is very, very high. Now, they've actually done quite well. They've kept a good line, because, like I said, Newport have been offside. I think I counted 4 to 5 times in that game. They have got that early breakthrough, and it's poised for a really good second half.
Yeah, and once again we see another team set up in this 3-5-2, and when you've got 2 strikers like that Newport have got, it gives that defence, especially if they're playing 3 at the back as well, it just gives them a lot more to think about. And I think that's their main threat at the moment, is the fact that they've got 2 strikers who are willing to either hold the ball up and or run in behind, and I think it's given these Leicester boys a bit of a hard time.
If you look at the space between each of the 3 centre backs, They're not too tight, and either a defensive midfielder or the wing back / right back, left back are not filling in those gaps. So there are definitely spaces there. But what it does do is give Leicester a good platform when they win the ball back to get it up top quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, for all these attacks, that's an odd touch. For all these attacks that Newport have had, Leicester have still looked pretty dangerous when they've got on the ball as well. So this second half should be tasty, because Leicester's unbeaten run is in jeopardy here. As Newport look to play that ball through, just can't get it. But again, in that centre midfield position, as Spoonie runs into this big open space and perhaps played it a bit too quick. One back, sent for hot dogs again, and Leicester look to build on this right-hand side. And it's played in and again cut out. These two centre midfielders for Newport really making a big difference here. It's dropped down, just taking a bit too long on the ball. It's ping-ponging around. This is where we need the player to step up, put their foot on the ball, much like Joshy's done there. And I think that is the difference between good players and great players in competitive pro clubs. It's just kind of having that composure to put your foot on the ball and play a ball like that, basically. That's what we like to see. Leicester breaking down this left-hand side, cut it back, and it's taken an unfortunate deflection because there were men up there. And the tackles are flying in, and this is what we like to see, Domino.
Yeah, I mean, how much now are you thinking about a little bit of Twitter beef? Obviously, the team must know it. So how much does that get into your head, or you just concentrate on the game at the minute?
Yeah, it can go one of two ways, can't it? It can rile the team up, or it can make you so nervous. You know, these Leicester boys now must be thinking, let's just get a goal, and imagine what that's going to do to them. As another offside for Newport. I think they're going to set a channel record here for offsides, but they're still 1-0 up, so you know it's obviously working. It does give the Leicester back line something to think about as Samuel goes flying in there. They do take it down, but Pickings cool on the ball, plucks out of the air. Somehow he manages to dig that cross out from the left hand side. Great defending again, and Spoonie wins the ball. These two up top for Newport are looking pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, they're also not altering the positions. They're both playing on the front line. We've just seen one drop deep now, actually, but they're both playing on the last line of the defence, causing them problems, like I said.
Good run in. It's cleared off the line. Another good save from the keeper. And it's a Newport striker. I thought it was going to be a penalty there. It was a Newport striker who gets booked for coming in late. I mean, I would be annoyed if my shot got cleared off the line as well, and I probably would have done the exact same thing. But Leicester hanging on in there, Domino. Spoonie comes again. He's in. Chops it back, and it looked like it may have been cleared off the line by the defender sliding in.
I don't know. It's either a save or cleared off the line, but either way, great play for the defensive team there.
Yeah, it was softly given away from that free kick. And it was funny because Spoonie's actually the one who did the foul and then got gifted a one-on-one, basically. But Leicester are hanging on here, and it would be very, very pro-clubsy if they snuck an equaliser here. Let's see what Newport can do to hold on to this lead. If you're Newport, Domino, are you pressing on to kill the game off, or are you sitting back?
Yeah, I think with the amount of space Leicester's giving you up top and the high line, the ball's there, isn't it? You just need to get that one chance, keep your players on side, like we're doing here at the minute. They're all dropping back, actually defending quite well here. Really good tracking runs from the three centre-halves, allowed the CDM to get back into play, and that was excellent from Leicester. Yeah,
and these, you can tell now, the two rivals going head-to-head. And I think you can tell why both of these two teams are towards the top of the league anyway. Really entertaining game, and some in patches. There's been a bit of sloppiness, but for the majority of the game, it's been good quality football, and this is what we like to see.
Yeah,
Newport coming on the attack, and again offside. He just stepped forward.
What's the record? I think it's 7.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think we've seen more than like 3 or 4 tops. I think we're on Yeah, we're approaching double digits now, surely. 12 minutes left. Can Leicester get themselves back into this game? Drew prefers to play it from feet, and again, it's that long ball to the wingers, and the two up front, and those in and around them will do that chasing into the channels, and they'll make something out of nothing, basically. And I think Leicester really struggled with that today.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the right and left backs are not coming back as much. I mean, you wouldn't though. You need a goal, so it's no shade to them because they actually need to stay up top. It's just the way the game's going to go. The three centre backs just need to do what they can. Hopefully, they can get the goal back.
And that's probably the closest Leicester have come in a long time, if not the whole game. A header from 12 yards over the bar, and it's just some things just not working out for them. They're getting a lot of freedom down this left-hand side, actually. And again, it's played out to that wide midfield area and flicked onto the striker's feet. It's working a treat, and they're ticking down the clock. As Joshy swings an early ball in, and just like that is game, set, and match. That's high IQ play, Domino. Talk to me about that.
High IQ play from anything, from the player obviously running like past the defenders, can't be offside from a throw-in, and then knew his teammate was in the box. But to be fair, you still need the quality to swing that in. Not only the quality to swing that in, you still need the quality to take that ball down and finish it. So all in all, very, very clever play and a great goal.
And the ball swung in with some form of cross shot. Don't make me invent any more words, because that was a shosh. But I feel like the only way back in would have been if that had gone in, if that had snuck in that top bins. Newport now are going to be happy to keep the ball, he says, as he sends two players for Twixers. And Spoonie's in here, good little ball roll, and it's onto this right hand side, and that's Pickers over there. He
Great
can't
save.
double his tally and put a cherry on the top of this top of the table clash.
Again, all high level play around, good decision making, smart passes, and a great save from the keeper in the end.
Yeah, I mean, big shout out to the Leicester goalkeeper Slacks. He's had a very, very good game. He's kept the scoreline respectable on this passages of play, because Newport have come streaming forward several occasions. As good as Leicester have been this game, Newport just looks so much more dangerous when they come forward.
Yeah, it's these two strikers are causing all sorts of problems here.
Yeah, and Slacks and
Clothesline,
like Spoonsy have a little bit of a cuddle to finish the game, just to show there's no bad blood between the two teams, I'm sure. And that is that. It's a 2-0. 2-0. The names on this kill me. 2-0 to Newport.
Saw that as well, mate.
Against Leicester. It's a Newport win. It's 3 points. One game closer to promotion into the Championship, Domino.
Yeah, I tell you what, Newport was good for that win. I think Leicester played a risky game, like Leicester do in real life, actually. Like it's an all or nothing style of play. I think they were unlucky in times, but they played pedal to the metal football. And the defensive line, I mean, what's your thoughts on that defensive line? Do you think, again, they were too high in that game? Do you think they should be more conservative? What's your thoughts?
I think when something's not working for you in competitive pro clubs, it's really, really hard to get your point across to 11 different people. I mean, even if you have to say to the whole back line and the right hand side or the left hand side, trying to get a word in Edgeway over the comms is going to be difficult. So a lot of the time in competitive pro clubs, you'll see you've got plan A and maybe not much behind that, and I think it's easy to see that Newport were playing those long diagonals, were winning the first ball and taking down the second ball and going from there, and all of a sudden they're 60-70 yards up the pitch, and Leicester weren't really doing much to combat that. I mean, save for moving one of the centre backs out there to stop those long balls, are you really going to do something as bold as that, and are you going to have the time to do that in a 6-minute half game? Arguably not, but then that's the result. Like I said in match comms, Newport just looked dangerous every time they came forward, and as good as Leicester looked, they just didn't have that same kind of cutting force as they came forward, Dom.
No, but I will give a shout out to both teams, because like I said, this is the lower level, but they played like they were higher level. There was no delays on the ball, very, very few mistakes. Decision making was great, and the goals that we saw as well were excellent goals, clever goals, well constructed goals. Both teams are great value for money, and I hope they both go on to have a good season.
Yeah, and I think that leads nicely into the last conversation we tend to have on these videos, which is man of the match. I think an honourable mention to the Leicester goalkeeper, Slacks. Some really, really good goalkeeping work there. And again, even some of the clearances off the line for the Leicester defenders. We like a good bit of defending on this channel. But that being said, I think between Pickers, Spoonie and Joshy Boyo, I think it is the latter who gets my vote. And I think he kind of cemented that with that high IQ play in the final 10-12 minutes by getting himself into that space and playing that cross in for the final goal. Yeah,
I can't disagree with that. I think once you kind of get a team's weakness, or you can understand a team's weakness, you hammer away at that. And like I said, Leicester didn't compromise or didn't change what they were doing, and Newport fully took hold of that and just carried on playing to that strength. And you could see it. They been caught offside 7 times, but exactly when the time that they got in and it worked, they scored a goal. So they carried on playing to their strengths. All the front three were excellent. Joshy Boy was excellent as well.
Yeah. And League One is hotting up nicely. Just continue to play nicely, boys. And we look forward to more League One games and more League One Twitter banter in the future.
Absolutely.
Thanks for letting us catch those games. It was a real honour to be able to call those guys. And for you guys watching at home, thank you so much for tuning in. Always appreciate your support for the channel. And if you could like and subscribe too, that'd be just amazing. Domino, any final thoughts before we sign off for the night?
No, I'm actually just excited to see how both teams progress in their league. It'd be nice for them, obviously, to both get promoted. And I look forward to calling one of their games again.
Beautiful stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video.
Take care of yourself, guys.